Hello and welcome to Connected to India. I'm Poonam Sharma. COVID-19, the disruptor. One of the sectors that has taken the proverbial bull by the horn is education. To talk about this sector, how it's reinventing itself, we have two very special guests with us today from Global Indian International School, co-founder and chairman, Mr. Atul Temurnikar. Atul, we know that Global Indian International School has put in all the efforts, the right technology, and all the support in place in all your campuses to make sure that the learning journey of the students continue and it's not disrupted. To begin with, take me through this journey that you've had. How did you introduce this new way of educating and learning in the GIS ecosystem? Give me an idea of the scale that you had and also the community adoption. How did the parents and students take this up?
Global Schools Foundation has always been thinking 8 to 10 years ahead of time, and this led to the idea of a first smart campus, which has been implemented at most of our campuses. This further led to our education continuity plan, which was built on prior experiences of SARS in 2003, and now that has proven itself in the COVID-19. GSF initiated a task force of in-house academic experts and technology experts to identify the exclusive digital experience which imparted the highest learning outcome. In the process, GIIS worked with some of the world's leading companies, including Apple, IBM, and I personally spoke to Cisco's CEO, Mr. John Chambers, and several others to create that unique GIIS digital learning experience. But frankly, all this was not in anticipation of any specific natural disasters, but our farsightedness has been beneficial to the students and parent community in the long run.
So, Atul, you gave us a sense of how prepared you were much before COVID-19, and having a smart campus in Singapore definitely helped. But tell me, at what stage did you recognize COVID-19 as a business and education challenge?
So when the COVID-19 news broke around 30th of January, our teams, completely unaware of the snowballing effect that was to take place, the entire GSF team of more than 150 members of the GIS and OVIS executive teams were parked in Bali, Indonesia, and discussing various aspects of School of the Future and planning for what was needed to be executed in the next 2 years. On 27th of February, the Japanese government was the first in Asia to close down all the schools. That's when GIS schools in Japan triggered our business continuity plans, and we at GSF took a major decision to roll out the GIS virtual classrooms at all our GIS campuses. At this stage, we knew we were fully prepared to go virtual, process-wise, systems-wise, and technology-wise, but we had to put in extra effort to ensure maximum security was used in these GIS virtual classrooms so that our students had the safest experience.
So, Atul, how did it help the students, this digital journey that you're talking about? Take us through, how the adoption happened with them and how much work went into that.
Like I said, we had already embraced new technology in education. It was done for the sake of students who deserve good education, good schooling, modern infrastructure to thrive in the new world. Because during the early days of COVID, no sooner than a challenge arose like the social distancing, and where the schools were still operational like in Singapore, we split our students into two groups, with half of the students in the class and the remaining half joining the virtual classrooms from their homes. You would be pleased to know that despite COVID, GIS is one of the very few schools in Asia and Middle East which is offering 120 hours a month of live virtual teaching to all the students, thereby ensuring GIS students derive maximum learning benefit during this COVID period. This is particularly significant when most schools across Asia and Middle East have tremendously scaled down their teaching periods to just over 2 to 5 hours a week. Within 2 weeks, we were up and running. All our virtual classrooms work better, and it is far safer than some of the free softwares available in the market.
Atul, tell me, do you think the overall education sector is also going to change after COVID-19? Because the cost, the online learning, which is becoming the new normal, as we have discussed, on-campus learning, which is going to drastically change. All these factors are going to result to some big changes in the sector that everyone will have to embrace?
The post COVID future, according to me, is not bleak, but it's very encouraging. We need to rethink on how we educate our future generations, but we will try to explain in a very simple way. Firstly, we've always believed in having a rapid response to embracing the new, which will help us communicate with our students in a better way, particularly when they are away from their classrooms and lecture theatres. One such example is of blended learning, which we have been using for the past few years. It's a combination of asynchronous and synchronous platforms like the EdTech solutions and the virtual platforms. And these bring huge benefits to the GIIS students community. Such digital tools with the right balance of face-to-face and virtual components will complement the learning in a very positive way. We have seen this acceptance in the past 2 months from our parent community who have praised us on our efforts to bring the school to their homes and ensure continuity of their children's education. In future, blended learning will be to schools what libraries are to the knowledge, a repository of progress. We have stringent rules in place on who has access to students during the school hours, and we will continue to remain alert to the dynamically changing security environment to ensure safety of all our students. While Generation Alpha is at this point probably oblivious to the impact of global pandemic on their education, it is up to us to nurture them so that the impact would be minimized. We can do this through finding delicate balance between effective use of remote or online learning and face-to-face learning. But with the right amount of intelligent quotient and the emotional quotient, we will be able to achieve it.
Exactly. I would totally agree with that, because this is not a productivity contest right now in the current times. And what is most important is that whatever the environment the child is in, he should be happy and his learning journey should continue. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being on Connected to India.
Thank you.